great time. I've sworn that they liked my painting and they were going to put it up for display.
Do you want to follow me the way you're looking at him?
Hi, my name is...
Eberezeji! You have an emergency. Come out.
You know, this movie rings, so close to home. I don't have kids with sickle cell, but I have 2 special needs kids. It's all hands on deck. There are problems, there are, issues, things you need to live with, conditions that you have to accept and that you're living with, and you have to cope with all the days of your life and their life. It's kind of like the hard truth. That's reality as you know it. So I understand, watching this movie, I understood every single emotion that the parents were exhibiting.
My sister, please come to the courtyard.
For a child to have the sickle cell disease, both parents should have 1S gene.
When will all of this be over? When will we get our lives back?
I can't seem to say anything right these days.
Of course you can. After all, you're the one providing for all of us in this house.
Your father has decided to let bygones be bygones.
Mommy, I should be the one letting bygones be bygones.
Somton worries that his best friend will die, and that is not the right situation for a child.
Things will change a lot for your family, especially for Ekene.
I don't want to lose my son.
I don't want to scare any more people. I'm worried I might have an episode in front of the assembly.
If you lose hope, your family will lose hope.
Hello, welcome to another exciting edition with the Consultee. My name is Chacha Wabara, and if you're just joining me for the first time, thank you and welcome. Today we'll be reviewing the Nigerian movie titled Strain. I first heard about this movie on Twitter. Aproko Doctor's page. So he was talking about it. He said it was going to come out on Netflix. So I made a point, look out for it and see the movie. But like I explained in my previous video, I've not been feeling too good and so many other things. So here I am now giving you a review of the movie The Strain. It has notable actors and actresses like Aproko Doctor. I'm going to have to mention his name first. Alex Usifo, Gloria Anozie Young, Okey, Uzoechi, Angel Unigwe, Nifemi, Lawal, and Shushu Abubakar. It was directed by Uzoechi Patrick and filmed in Lagos. This movie is centered upon this sickle cell anemia. If you're in Nigeria, at some point or the other, you will hear people talking about genotype. What's your genotype? Wanting to find out their genotype so as to have appropriate pairing when getting married or having kids, so as to avoid any of their kids having the sickle cell. And so it made me further appreciate this movie Strain. So, this family of 4, the mom Yemi, okay, their dad is Nnamdi, and then you have Ekene, the guy who actually has the sickle cell, and then his sister known as Ebere. This movie started in a lukewarm way, I'd say, in the sense that it had kind of like a boring introduction, and I was like, okay, let me just see. I wanted to see the part of Aproko Doctor. That was what actually kept me. But if I had focused just merely on that first scene, I would have lost interest. So moving on, had this family, and the boy was like healthy, no issues, presented itself at birth. It was just a normal, healthy boy who suddenly fainted, and then his parents got to find out rather shockingly that their son had sickle cell. And of course their life changed at that point. Everything they took for granted, they had to now start re-educating their son, their daughter, and themselves as well on the new course to live, the way forward, and how to cope with this condition. It wasn't such an easy thing. What struck me was the way character that played Ekene, he lived that character, he portrayed it. In fact, the movie was all about him, because basing on this guy, this little boy Ekene, he brought that character, he brought this awareness to life. If you watch this movie, there's no way you would not educate your perceptions about so many things that you usually used to take for granted. And what touched me at some point was when he was contemplating suicide, because he felt he was a burden to his sister Ebere, who acted out her part. But come on, there was something at the beginning. I wonder, that character that played Ebere, was it the same character that played Ebere from the beginning to the end? Because I think their faces changed. I think so. Well, anyway, because the first scene, the first place, the way the Ebere's face changed, it was, I don't know, it was obvious. Anyway, by the side. Now, Ebere showed the actions, the reaction, the behavior of siblings, so healthy siblings who get frustrated and exasperated by, constant attention put on their sick siblings. I also understood that way. Whoever wrote the script, whoever wrote this story did a good job, because I see that in my sons, or when they keep on saying, "Oh, mommy, I'm talking to you, you're concentrating on this, you're concentrating on her, you're concentrating on them," I sense that frustration. So I try as much as possible to diversify my love, diversify my attention, so that you don't feel like, okay, you know what, my mom was just all about my sisters and all of that. So that thing presented itself in the family, not like Yemi and Nnamdi didn't love Ebere, but they were just consumed in their head, consumed body, soul and spirit, about that particular thing at that time. They had never experienced it. It just came suddenly, and they were still trying to cope. Their coping mechanism had not set in, and they were struggling. Ebere at that point did not understand what was happening. All she just wanted was the love of her parents back, the attention of her parents on her as well, not just on her brother. And then having to have to live her life, she has to be a mom and dad, or will I say, supplementary caregiver for her brother in school, outside school, at home, and all of that. It did not really dawn on her until she saw that actually her brother would lose his life if, things don't change. So at that point, this strain, much as it talked about this sickle cell, it talked about how this sickle cell condition can affect the immediate members of the family, the patient, and Aproko Doctor did a good job of painstakingly explaining what this condition is all about, what you need to look out for, and all of that. And it made this movie so true, so real, so on point. You would really learn a lot. I think this movie is an educative movie. It's a movie that everyone needs to see. As a matter of fact, when people start to ask you, what is sickle cell? What do you think is sickle cell? Just tell them, please, hold up. Go and watch Strain. I beg. I don't even need stress. Go and watch Strain. You would understand what it's all about. So I'm not surprised that the movie up for nominations and has won a lot of awards, and it's such an amazing movie. It's such an amazing movie. I would once again commend character of Ekene. Ekene was awesome. Ekene was wonderful. Ekene knew the job. He knew what he was supposed to give, and he gave it. At some point, towards the end of the movie, I got scared because I thought that watching his sister perform on stage would trigger this thing, and I lost it at some point. I realized that it was a scare. But all in all, the movie was nice. The audio at the beginning wasn't wonderful, and the filming was good. The lighting was awesome. If you're just looking for a quiet time to just take care of your own emotions, take care of your own alone time, and you need something soul searching, not really soul searching, something to understand. You want to let your emotions feel something as you watch a movie. Yeah, I think I'll say it like that. You want to feel something as you watch a movie, then Strain is what you have to see. All in all, it was a good movie, and I'll be rating the movie a 7/10, which brings me to the end of this movie review. Up there you'll see my Nigerian movie reviews, my Korean movie reviews, my Chinese movie reviews, and until I see you next time, it's bye for me. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much. By the way, don't you like how somehow something changed, my background? Okay, I found a better way. I'm not using my tripod. I found a better way to position my ring light and all of that. I think I'm even feeling more comfortable. Before I had to hinge and all of that. But anyhow, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.